Hey everybody, just wanted to give you an update on the furniture committee that we had yesterday in regards to middle school and high school. There's kind of three discussion points, and Miss Schliessman is with me today that we want to talk about when it comes to furniture and get your guys' feedback on. If you would email one or both of us with what your feedback is, that'd be excellent. So first of all, one of the discussions is that we are going away with the smart boards, and especially people that will have new rooms. Your setup will be an 8 foot whiteboard, a TV in the middle, and then an 8 foot whiteboard. And Kelly will talk about that after a little bit. But what we want to ask you guys is for the middle school and high school, would we rather have the TVs mounted on a wall or would you want them on a cart? And kind of think about the versatility that the mobile one might give you, but also there's obviously a stability issue with that. So if you would kind of email back with your feedback, and that's like question number one that we have for you is would you like your TV mounted on a wall or would you like it to be mobile? Next, Kelly's going to talk to us about the generic classroom setup.
Okay, so you guys can see the screen right here. This is kind of what the classroom looks like. I believe this is a model of one of the new classrooms, but this is kind of generally what all the classes will look like. So if you guys see, we kind of decided that we don't want these here, these yellow like goldfish looking things, just because they're too homey almost, like we want them to be in school and comfortable, but we thought that was maybe a little bit too comfortable. So we were thinking maybe do more of these red chairs. So instead of doing, like you can see on the design over here, it has two of the goldfish looking things and then two of the red chairs. So maybe do 4 red chairs and no goldfish things. But that's kind of what we were thinking there. The general idea is that we'll have like stadium kind of seating. So these tables here in the back are going to be these kind of greenish looking ones here, and those will be adjustable. You can see all the heights here, and then the desk sizes will get shorter as it gets closer to the front. The other thing is we will have these kind of movable like podiums, and initially they were thinking that we would have 2, one that kind of stays over by the desk and then one that is able to move around the room with you, but we were thinking that we don't necessarily need to because there's one that's kind of like a cookie shape, like with a bite taken out of it, that we think would be big enough to have by the desk to conference and also small enough to move around the room. But then we'd have a teacher desk, looks like this up here with the 2 sides of storage and some standing height tables kind of in the back. So that's kind of the general layout of what the classrooms would look like.
So this is for a standard, so basically we're talking like math, we're talking English, foreign language, basically what we call like non-specialty rooms. So for people like FCS, science, shop, you would certainly want to maintain contact with Mr. Upsaw or Mrs. Rader about what your situation would look like. But for most of us, this is the type of furniture that we'd get. One thing that I do want to mention, and this was important, I'm not sure how many people know, but if you are getting one of the new rooms that's kind of in the core of the school above the commons, you are basically getting 4 solid walls. One of your walls will have the 2 8-foot whiteboards with a TV. You will not get any storage. And so one of the things that we talked about yesterday is that's not in the budget currently. And we think that that might be a big deal for some of you. And so what you would want that storage to look like, would you want 2 higher doors and then some shelves underneath? The ideal situation is that we don't bring a lot of our old furniture into those new rooms. So I guess what the 3 questions that we have, and we'd like you to answer them are, number 1, would you like your TV mounted, not mounted? And we might have to go with majority on that. Number 2, the generic classroom setup. Do you have any feedback on that? And then number 3, those of you that do have one of those new rooms, do you want storage? And if so, what kind and how much? Because right now, as you look in the diagram that we have, there is no built-ins. There's also no roll-in storage except for your 2 pedestals on your desk. And one of the things that the the administration talked about is they don't want a lot of old furniture in the new rooms. So those 3 questions are in the email. If you would respond back to us, that'd be great. If you have more questions, middle school contacts are Mr. Ebner and Mr. Grant, and then high school contacts are Ms. Schlesman and myself. So thanks for listening, and look forward to seeing your feedback. Thanks, everybody.